Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Impact Winter #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Impact Winter #1. It is an Image comic and it is by Travis Beacham, Stephen Green, and Matt Hollingsworth. And we start off with this girl who's the main character. Her name is Darcy, and she is recalling events of how the Earth became covered in darkness and infested with vampires. So basically, there was a meteor, hit the Earth, it blacked out the sun, and then all the people that were alive found out that vampires were real once they all started to come out in the darkness. And now Darcy is part of a group of survivors who have managed to survive all this time. And this is the first time that Darcy's been allowed to be out with the team, getting supplies, and of course, killing any vampires they might see. So she wanders off on her own and she actually gets attacked and she drops her sword because, like I said, this is her first time. But luckily, one of her other teammates named Godwin was there to save her. Then we cut to maybe like a day or two later where Godwin and Darcy are training, and even though that was the first time on the field and she did kind of bad, it seems like she does have some skills, but she was just kind of taken by surprise by that vampire. And she is actually able to get Godwin on the ground. And this is where they kind of hint the first time that there might be something between her and Godwin. And after training, this is confirmed because Godwin walks her to a room, and then when they get there, they're talking and he kisses her. And they're both kind of stunned by this. She didn't know Godwin felt that way, and Godwin wasn't even sure himself, actually. He was just kind of overtaken by the moment. So a couple days later, Godwin is out on a mission to save some people that sent out a distress call. But when they get there, all of them are dead. And then Godwin sees a dog, and I guess they haven't seen many animals out in the wild, so he thinks it's a nice dog, and he wants to try to call it over to them. And as he walks over, we get a good panel of this dog's eyes, and obviously this is not a normal dog. And they say Godwin actually ends up going missing for months. But just when Darcy's about to lose hope, she actually hears a radio transmission saying that he's at a certain building and that he's still alive and to bring help. So Darcy suits up to go out herself. She knows that the rest of the guys won't want to go there because they'll think it's a trap, so she decides to go on her own. And when she gets to the building, she does find Godwin, and he seems okay. He's talking to her like normal. He doesn't look like a bat or anything like that, but he's asking questions like, are you the only one here? How come you came alone? And then as Darcy's looking around, she notices that there's a big line of blood going to one of the closets. And when she opens the door, she finds a whole heap of bodies hidden in there. And then Godwin says, don't move. And there's a very spell-like atmosphere around her. And basically he has like the power of suggestion, so she can't move her body. And as he's walking up behind her, he's talking about their kiss and how it was hard to fight all these urges back when they were together before. But now he just is very, very hungry. So he pulls back the neck of her shirt and he gets ready to bite her. And that's where I'm going to stop it. I don't want to spoil anything else. So Impact Winter is a one-shot that is 48 pages long. It does leave itself open at the end in case there was going to be a series afterwards. And I'm not sure if that was its intent as like an introduction to a series or like a trial for the idea. But it does seem like if it sold well, it could probably be a miniseries or ongoing even. I like that right away they just tell you what happened with the Earth. They don't really pull any punches on that. And they also establish a lot of the vampire lore up front. So you know what to expect when you see a vampire, how to kill them, what they're susceptible to, those kinds of things. And it was also cool that even though they showed that at the beginning, they only showed the vampires that looked like actual bats. And then when they showed Godwin, who has obviously been turned, he looks like Godwin. So I think that was a surprise to Darcy as well. So that was pretty interesting, and I enjoyed learning about this mythology. Also, I wasn't really sure how to feel about Godwin. He is obviously older than Darcy, and she's supposed to be 16. So when he kisses her, it just seemed highly inappropriate. And I don't know if we're supposed to think Godwin is creepy or if we're supposed to understand and be on his side, because this isn't our society. This is a vampire-ridden, end-of-the-world apocalyptic society. But just going based on what laws and stuff we have, it seemed kind of creepy, especially when he turns into a vampire and he kind of discloses information about holding back urges and things like that when they were together before. And in hindsight, just kind of makes that first scene where they kiss and are training very creepy. I thought the art was pretty good. I liked the style of it. The coloring was really good. And the art really matched the general feel of the book and the tone. So overall, I think this was a pretty good comic. Like I said, it is 48 pages, so it's like a double-sized issue. And it does seem to be setting up some bigger miniseries or storyline going forward. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And if you're a vampire person and you like those kind of stories, this one was definitely a good one. So if you saw anything you like, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store, and we will see y'all in the next one.